Am I wrong for declining to see my dying father because he's not including me in his will? I have not seen my father since I was 7. He just stopped visiting and remarried. My mom and him were never married, and their relationship was toxic. I'm now 31. I got news that my father is dying from cancer, and he wanted to see me before he died. I got the news from his second ex-wife and mother to his 3 other kids who I never met. Truth be told, I have no connection or feelings towards him, good or bad. I asked about his estate and was told I wasn't included on the will. It's not about the money, I do well for myself, but it's sort of a slap in the face to draw up a will and purposely exclude one child and then ask that same child to comfort you in your final days. I would have donated whatever money he left. I felt demeaned and like I was some kind of seat filler. So I declined to see, and he passed away a week later. It's been 6 months, and I'm still not bothered by my choice. He did leave money behind for his other 3 kids and they're not exactly impoverished. He made a conscious choice to exclude me, so I excluded him. Am I wrong for eating sexy potatoes? It honestly feels ridiculous that I have to post this, but my coworker has been getting on to me about this for weeks now, so I have to ask. My whole life, I've been eating potatoes by microwaving them, then biting into them, eating them hot dog style. This is the easiest, most convenient and intuitive way for me to eat potatoes, sweet potatoes or regular. I think this is how people in Japan eat them, or at least, this is how I was taught by my Japanese parents to eat them. Whenever I go to a grocery store, I always pick out the most easily biteable potatoes, which are generally longer and thinner than most potatoes. So I work in an office of about 30 people. We all typically bring our own lunch, and I usually just eat at my desk while doing work. No one has ever commented about how I eat potatoes, but I do eat them quite frequently. Recently, a new person was hired, and she clearly has a problem with the way I eat potatoes. A couple times, she pulled me aside and asked me that I just eat potatoes a more normal way. I asked her what she meant, and she said I was eating potatoes too suggestively. I was a little shocked, because I literally just have my eyes glued to my screen whenever I'm eating, and barely pay attention to how I eat. I told her no one else seemed to have a problem with the way I eat potatoes, but she insisted others were just too polite to say anything. I asked a few other co-workers who all were just as confused as me about what she was saying. I figured no one else really had a problem with it, but this happened multiple times. She kept coming to me and asking me to tone down the way I eat, even accusing me of going out of my way to choose sexy potatoes. What? I've considered bringing them other ways, but this is just the easiest way for me to eat them, and they're honestly delicious like this to me. I asked her to maybe just not watch me eat, but apparently that's just not feasible. Unfortunately, she reported me, and now I have a meeting with human resource next week. This seems really dumb to me, but am I the butthole for eating sexy potatoes? Edit. Thank you for the gold. And thank you to everyone who gave tips on how to approach human resource. I will update after the meeting. Edit 2. Please stop asking me for videos of me eating potatoes. It's creepy and weird. And also would be extremely boring, and the least sexy thing you'll ever watch. Edit 3. Because I've gotten a ton of comments asking how to microwave a potato. Scrub potato thoroughly with a sponge. To remove dirt, stab the potato with a fork or knife all over. Then put in the microwave for about 5 minutes, more or less depending on the size of the potato and power of the microwave. Then flip and do the same thing. To tell if it's done, poke through the center with a knife or fork. You can generally tell how soft it is by stabbing through it. The texture will be relatively intuitive. Make sure you let the potato cool for at least 10 minutes, potentially longer, or it'll be too hot to eat. When you're ready to consume, I usually hold it wrapped around a napkin. I'm sacrilegious, so I eat the skin, but you don't have to. I'll sometimes add butter or regular potatoes, but I normally just sprinkle some salt as I eat it. Sweet potatoes, I just eat as is. Either way you'll probably need to drink water or some liquid with it. Enjoy. Am I wrong for not letting my nephew keep the Switch that my husband gave him? My 24 female husband, 26 male, is a high functional autistic man. However, he tends to perceive small talks and questions as request. I don't really know how to explain it, but you have to be very specific with the things you ask him for/to. For example, if you say that you like his phone and that you plan to get the same one, he's going to gift it to you immediately because he truly believes that's how the world works. It's confusing, but that's how his parents used to communicate with him and that's how he learned to respond. We are improving a lot, and I know he has the biggest heart, but sadly, this has led to people taking advantage of him and taking his things away because he has a hard time saying no. Also, he just doesn't comprehend at first, but if you try to explain to him, he would eventually understand that you just want to talk and not ask him for anything. However, my family thinks that this is perfect, especially my sister and my brother-in-law. Since my husband comes from a well-off family, they feel entitled to ask him for any luxury they want to have. An elegant dinner in a fancy restaurant with all paid? Ask Op's husband. Any material thing they want to have? Ask Op's husband. Thanks to that, I had to block them on my husband's phone to make sure they can only talk to him in my presence, meaning that I can control the things they ask for and just say no. They think that I'm a witch because I'm enjoying all his money, and that I'm selfish because we're a family and we should share it all. I just ignore them because I'm not wasting his money and I'm always trying to help him. I know that he loves my family, and if it were for him, he would give them the world, but it's not fair. He isn't an ATM. Yesterday, my sister, 31 female, brother-in-law, 38 male, and my nephew, 8 male, came to hang out with us, which seemed rare, but okay, I'll let it go, because my husband was so happy to see them, and he really adores our nephew. So while they all were playing, my sister expected me to be their maid, because they deserve a day in my life. We ended up arguing over this, and my husband took our nephew away. They, again, called me a selfish witch, and I ended up asking them to leave, and called my nephew. When he came into the room, he had my husband's Switch with everything he had in his hands. He said that my husband gave it to him, which again, was confusing, so I asked him if that was true, and he said that my nephew asked him if he could keep it, and that he said yes. He looked like a beaten puppy, and I told my nephew that he couldn't keep it because that belonged to my husband, and reminded him of his uncle's condition, that maybe we could give him one for Christmas. My sister and brother-in-law started to argue that if he gave it to him then he could keep it, and tried to leave with it. I was honestly tired at this point and just took the Switch back and told them to stop behaving like beggars in front of their kid. Edit. Oh my god, I didn't expect this to blow up as it did. It's late now, but I will try to answer some of you tomorrow. However, there's something I want to address. My husband's family is not abusive, they are not bad people, and his brother loves him with all his heart. Please stop acting as if trusting them is the biggest error of my life. Guys, it's not. They adore him. Am I wrong for refusing to change my necklace? I have worn a necklace for the last 10 years. My friend, who is pagan, gave it to me as a gift when we first met. This friend passed away last year. The necklace is a pentagram. I do not believe it has magic. I'm agnostic. I do not believe in any religion being better than another, because I don't think any religion is right. But I keep this to myself. I just like the necklace, and my friend was / is important to me. It is the only jewelry I wear. I recently met my brother, Mans, for dinner, and he introduced his girlfriend Eva, early 30s. She is Christian. She believes in very many things I do not. She was very polite, but my brother told me she was uncomfortable. He said she comes from a culture where those things are evil. She does not want it in her life. I said I'm not evil. I'm wearing a star. It is rude. I did not ask her to take off her crucifix, which had a dead man mailed on it, which creeps me out a little. He told me that Eva would be coming to dinner next Sunday. It would be at our parents' home. They do not believe either. Mans asked them to please talk to me. They said no. In their home I will wear what I like. They have said they would not pray either, like Mans has asked. Our sister Greta has asked Mans not to bring around someone ignorant. Mans is mad at me for not removing the necklace. I believe that it is not evil. That saying someone is evil because of a star is wrong. And I do not like his girlfriend for demanding such things. Am I the butthole? Did you like this video? If so, consider subscribing to Reddit. We upload new videos and updates every day. Thank you for watching.